Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks, and it's time to announce a new build series, and we are going to be attempting to build the Onyx Cinder UCS style. So here we have the Lego set 75374, which was released last year, and I've only just picked this set up. It's been available at Smith's Toy Store in the UK and selective European stores, and it's been on sale for €90, reduced from 140. So great saving on this set. And yeah, I managed to pick it up last week. It was the last one in the store, and according to their website, they're actually no longer selling this set. So you can still pick it up on the likes of Lego and Amazon, and I'm sure there are other places out there as well. However, Smith's apparently are stopping the selling of this particular set. And I've only just watched the Skeleton Crew TV series, and it took me a while to get into it, but once up to I think it was episode 3, I was loving every second of it. I'm going to try not to do too many spoilers in the build series here or this episode, but yeah, obviously for those of you that have seen it, there are some changes that happen to the Onyx Cinder in episode 6. Now, what I'm going to be doing to start with, I'm going to be building this set up here just so I can see how Lego have gone about getting the engines to rotate and the wings and things like that, and that's going to give me an idea of how I go forward with making my UCS version. So first of all, let's make this set up, and then afterwards I'm going to go through what the plans are with this build series and why I'm tackling a third build series on my channel. And here we are, 3 bags into the build of the Onyx Cinder, and it really is a fun build and loving every second of it. There's so much technique in this so far, but the interior is very, very small for such a big on-screen ship. And I'd imagine that the size of the Onyx Cinder must be very similar to the Millennium Falcon, but obviously you've got so much less space inside here, and this is one of the reasons I'm looking forward to creating a UCS version, so I can get a lot more of the details that you see in the Skeleton Crew show into the build. But this is the one part that I'm most interested in so far with this build, and it's the mechanism that rotates the axles on each end, which are going to rotate the wings and the engines. And when you just move this from side to side, it's actually turning all of them. And I think I'm going to stick with this design when I come to making the UCS version. When I made my Jabba's Palace mock, I was using a lot of axles and cogs for the trapdoors, and a lot of it was twisting quite a lot when there was a lot of weight on there or it was going long distances. So I do think that this is potentially the best way of doing the rotating engines and wings on the build. Now, obviously, the one thing I have got to bear in mind is that the front section I won't need when it comes to the end of episode 6 version of the Onyx Cinder. So I just need to work out a way that I can get that to work, basically. And I've got an idea in mind, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to that stage. The first thing I need to do is work out the size and everything. But yeah, already I'm starting to think about future problems, which are going to be several updates into the future. But anyway, let's carry on building this, crack bag 4 open, and let's get back to building. And here we have it, the Onyx Cinder all completed. And first up, the minifigures, they are brilliant. I love the Neil figure. I think the details on him is fantastic. It's a shame we didn't get SM33, but the ones we have got here, it's nice to have the rest of the characters, I suppose. And this is the reason I purchased the set. I knew I wanted to build a UCS version of the Onyx Cinder. And the only way to get the minifigures, apart from buying them on the secondary market, was obviously to pick this set up. And paying €90 for this set was fantastic value, and I'd highly recommend anybody that's a Star Wars fan or certainly a Skeleton Crew fan, pick it up. Now, the mechanism on the top for rotating the wings and engines is so smooth and satisfying, and it is a great technique, and it's one that I hope that I'll be able to implement into the UCS version. The way the panels are attached on the side, again, really good, and hopefully I'll be able to replicate this again on the UCS version of that. Now, the vessel is obviously way too small compared with what it should be in universe. The amount of room you've got inside is very small, partly down to the mechanism on the top there, which I'm glad they have done. I'd soon have less space in here and have that mechanism on there, as I've learned a lot from that technique. But yeah, really excited to be making a UCS version of this where I have a full interior, a cockpit which can hold all of the minifigures. I'm not sure how big I'm going to be making my UCS version of this. If I was to go for the minifig scale, or what I perceive to be minifig scale, it would probably be a little bit bigger than the Falcon, just going by when you see some shots of the kids stood next to the vessel in this TV series. So I might do a compromise on there and just scale it down a fraction. But yeah, we'll do the best we can, and we'll work that bit out a little bit further down the line. It would be nice also on the UCS version to have retractable landing gear. Whether or not, again, that's something I can actually do into the ship, I'm not sure. I'll experiment with that, and if we can, we'll do so. If not, what I might do is have it so that it's very easy to take them off and put a panel on there, so I can either have it in flight mode or in landing mode. Now, with the Skeleton Crew, I am only up to episode 6 at time of filming this video, and how we see the Onyx Cinder at the end of episode 6, I would love to have it so that's what it looks like, but I would like to have it so you can just add parts onto it to get it back to looking like this. So how I do the engine part, that's one of the things I mentioned earlier. I've got an idea of how to do so, but we'll cross that bridge further down the line. If it's looking early on like it's not going to be possible to have this between the two versions, I will make my UCS version based on this style, as this is the one that I really do like, and I think I actually prefer this version to how we see it at the end of episode 6. But yeah, it's going to be great fun attempting this. And a friend of mine from YouTube, Mike from Mixer Bricks, when I first said to him that I was considering doing a UCS version of the Onyx Cinder, he said, do instructions, I'll buy them instantly. And it got me thinking that would be a good way of trying to raise some revenue for the YouTube channel, for my Gotham City, as Gotham City and the Tantive are not cheap builds. So if I can do instructions for this and raise a bit of money for my channel, that would be fantastic. So I'm not saying I'm going to be able to do so, but I'll certainly give it a go and see what we can come up with. Now, I know there'll be a lot of people wondering, why am I taking on another build series when I'm only 3 episodes into the Tantive and only a fraction of the way through building Gotham City? And there are several reasons. The first, I want to. Ever since I first saw this set on the shelves, I thought how cool it would be to have a nice, smooth UCS style version of this, and that was the one thing I thought, I've got to do that one day. Now, at the moment, anytime I have throughout the day for Lego building, I spend on Gotham City, and that's what I do. My main videos are for my channel, and has been since I set up my YouTube channel. The Tantive Build series is something of a passion build for me, and it's something I've always wanted to do, and I do that in the evenings. So when I've got spare time, that's what I'm concentrating on building. However, with the Tantive, I'm finding that I keep changing the layout or the design of it, and I'm constantly waiting for pieces to come in, and I have still got spare time in the evenings which I want to be building Lego. I love creating things with Lego, and it's what I get so much enjoyment out of. So I thought, rather than build the Onyx Cinder after the Tantive, I think I could do it at the same time. I'm still going to be spending the same amount of time as before on my Tantive build, the same amount of time as before on Gotham, so they're not going to be suffering at all. This is just something extra to fill the time that I have available that I would be spending on Lego building. So yeah, it's going to be exciting building this as well as the other two builds, and I am going to be using the parts from my UCS Millennium Falcon for the Onyx Cinder. I think there should hopefully be plenty of parts in there that's going to give me a good start on building this vessel here. The plan is I'm going to be putting updates out for the Onyx Cinder on the 14th of every month. The Tantive is obviously the 1st of every month, and Gotham I try to put most weeks 2 videos out per week for Gotham City, so that will continue as before. So the Onyx Cinder, they're going to be additional videos to what I'm normally putting out. I'm really excited for starting this build series, and I hope you are as well. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building the Onyx Cinder in a UCS form, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.